All right, the cold weather didn't seem to stop protesters from swarming a Minnesota hotel overnight, which they believe is housing ICE agents. This is still going on.
It all comes as a Minnesota judge holds a hearing today after ordering DHS to preserve all evidence from this weekend shooting. Madeline Rivera live from Washington with the details. Maddie.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. This has become a familiar scene in Minnesota. Protesters gathering at hotels where they believe federal agents are staying, clashing with them and making any noise they can by banging drums or blowing whistles. In one instance, protesters attempted to push their way through a blockade that agents tried to form near a hotel's front door. The anger in the state has intensified after the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says her agency is leading the probe, but state officials say they want to do an investigation as well, and they've secured a temporary restraining order blocking federal officials from destroying evidence. Minnesota leaders accuse federal authorities of blocking their access to the crime scene.
I don't care if you're conservative, liberal, or whatever, but you should at least be in favor of conserving evidence in a homicide. And to have to go get an order from a judge to preserve that evidence is extraordinary and should alarm everyone who believes in equal justice under the law.
DHS says Preddy tried to obstruct an active law enforcement operation, and Noem says the agent who fired his weapon was afraid for his life. Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bavino says agents are operating under stressful circumstances.
Let's think of what those agents were doing on that scene, making a split-second decision. You've had 24 hours to try and armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split second to make a decision.
But as the protests rage, several federal sources tell our Bill Malugin they're frustrated with some of the narratives and claims from DHS, and they say they support the mass deportation agenda from the Trump administration, but they have concerns about the way it's being carried out. President Trump telling the Wall Street Journal his administration is reviewing everything about the incident. Carly and Todd.
Madeline Rivera, thank you. With that, let's bring in former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary Jonathan Fahey. And Jonathan, I'm confused because I went to law school, and albeit I haven't practiced in a number of years, but you saw Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, there saying it is uproarious that we need to go to court to get the DHS and ICE to preserve this evidence in this case. Is that hearing and that action by the AG there even necessary, or is this all political grandstanding from AG Ellison, from the Minnesota judge who is going to hold today's hearing? Because evidence in a case like this